Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
As the number of COVID cases climb in the state line, threats of new restrictions linger. Local health officials weigh in on what you and everyone can do to make sure those changes are not needed.
Some local businesses are already bracing for another round of closures. The resources one local county is providing in hopes of easing the possible burden.
Plus, is the Mitch Trubisky era over in Chicago? Later in sports, Scott Leber will let us know who will be under center for the Bears heading into Week 4.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. An increase in state-line coronavirus cases could mean a step back for area businesses.
Illinois Region 1 hit a positivity rate of 8%. According to the Illinois Health Department, that area reached that level Friday. If the rate continues for 2 or more days, the state could trigger more restrictions. Among those could be shutting down bars and indoor service at restaurants. Social gatherings could be limited to just 25 people. Region 1 is made up of Winnebago, Boone, DeKalb, Ogle, Lee, Joe Davies, Carroll, and Whiteside counties.
In Winnebago County, the positivity rate sits at 9%. This weekend, 225 cases of COVID were confirmed. Winnebago County Health Department leaders discussed the rising numbers about an hour and a half ago. They addressed concerns that schools could be forced into remote learning once again. Health Department Director Dr. Sandra Martell says that shouldn't happen and schools will still be treated on a case-by-case basis. She adds her message hasn't and won't change.
We have got to get our positivity rate down. We've got to wear our face coverings. We have to stay home if we're not feeling well. We have to wash our hands. We have to social distance. I know that we are all fatigued. I know that this is a very challenging time. But I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, our lives and our livelihood depend on this.
Dr. Martell says the state should inform the area of any new restrictions by Wednesday.
Boone County's latest positivity rate is also at 9%.
Today, the Board of Health discussed the next steps for people there. Michelle Rave tells us how the department's trying to help local businesses.
Boone County health officials are preparing to go into mitigation this week or next. So Forward Boone County as well as the Belvedere Chamber are doing what they can to aid local bars and restaurants if they are not allowed to have indoor dining. There is no time limit for this phase. In fact, to get out of the mitigation process, Boone County has to hold a 6.5% positivity rate for 3 days. So reducing that positivity rate is essential to getting back to normal.
Providing some online resources to help some of our small businesses do download apps where they can have the public order online, do curbside pickup, so that if we do end up limiting and closing indoor dining and people are going back to more of the drive-through, walk up and pick up order option while we're in mitigation, that we can assist our small businesses with those online options as well.
Forward Boone County is encouraging businesses to attend their online discussion about what the mitigation steps will look like. It's tomorrow at 7. You can find the information on our website, mystateline.com. For your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
COVID forces one McChesney Park school to switch classes online for the next 2 weeks. Parker Early Education Center begins that today. We first reported this to you on Friday. In a letter to parents, the Harlem school superintendent said Parker had 17 confirmed cases among students and staff. Remote learning will be in effect until October 8th. Workbook sheets have been mailed out home to students. As Parker leaves the classroom, Northern Illinois University students return to theirs today. School officials made the switch to remote learning after more than 100 students tested positive in just the first 2 weeks. NIU now reports there are about 80 active cases, almost all of them students. Face covers are required for anyone on campus.
Federal government says it's ready to distribute 150 million COVID-19 testing kits across the country. 50 million of those will go to the most vulnerable communities like nursing homes and assisted living facilities. It's an effort to protect those considered high risk. This comes as the U.S. reached another COVID milestone, surpassing 7 million infections over the weekend. Roughly 24 states are seeing a rise in cases. Wisconsin reported more than 2,000 new cases Saturday. That's one of its highest totals since the pandemic began. New COVID-19 news comes every day and it can be hard to keep up. You can find the latest updates and information on our website. Just head to mystateline.com.
Rockford police search for the gunman in a shooting early this morning. This happened around 6 on School Street, just west of Central Avenue. We first brought this to you as breaking news on Eyewitness News this morning. The gunman fired several rounds but didn't hit anyone. At this time, police have not identified a suspect. Anyone with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. This morning's shooting comes on the heels of a violent weekend in the Forest City that saw 2 men murdered. The first happened early Saturday morning. Police were called to Rock Street near South Park around 4:15. Officers found a male victim. The 39-year-old was rushed to a local hospital but died. The second happened around 2:30 Saturday afternoon at the intersection of Auburn Street and Rockton Avenue. Police say someone in a gray mid-sized vehicle pulled up and opened fire on the victim when he stopped to pick someone up. The 25-year-old died at a local hospital. Neither man has been identified. If you have information about these murders, call Rockford Police or Crime Stoppers.
If you plan on using I-39 this evening, you might want to take some extra time. Starting in the next half hour, IDOT will put several traffic delays in place. They'll last about 15 minutes. The first will be southbound between US 20 and the Kishwaukee River Bridge. Later, crews will switch to northbound between US 72 and the Kishwaukee River Bridge. IDOT says engineers are performing load testing on the bridge. The work's expected to be complete by early Tuesday morning.
As we inch closer to Tuesday's presidential debate, President Donald Trump is fiercely denying a report in the New York Times.
The paper alleges the president paid little to no federal income taxes over the last 15 years. Mike Emanuel has more on Trump's response as Democrats react.
I don't mind releasing. I'm under a routine audit, and it'll be released. And as soon as the audit's finished, it'll be released.
In 2016, then candidate Donald Trump faced intense scrutiny for not releasing his tax returns to the public. Flash forward to 2020, with the November election just weeks away, President Trump is again dealing with concerns about his finances. A report by the New York Times reveals Mr. Trump didn't pay federal income tax for 10 of the past 15 years. It also shows he paid $750 to the government the year he was elected, and the same amount again his first year in office. President Trump has denied the accuracy of the report and maintains that he is being unfairly treated by the IRS.
We've seen this play out before, tax information or purported tax information dropping on the eve of a debate. They tried this in 2016, it didn't work. They need to get a little more creative in their strategy.
The denial isn't stopping Democrats from seizing on the report. The Biden campaign released this ad citing the information and highlighting how much everyday Americans pay in taxes compared to Mr. Trump. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is also weighing in, saying it raises questions about national security.
This president appears to have over $400 million in debt, 420, whatever it is, $million in debt. To whom? Different countries? What is the leverage they have?
The House Ways and Means Committee, led by Democrats, has an ongoing lawsuit aimed at getting access to President Trump's tax returns.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Well, we have definitely had a more fall-like feel, not only for yesterday afternoon, but also for this afternoon. Have to say a big thank you to LYNN HEFFRAN for sharing her fall picture. Front house beautifully decorated. 'Tis the season, as we've got a bit more of a fall-like pattern setting in as we round out the last couple of days here of September and welcome in the month of October. If you have any fall photos you would like to share, weather at WTVO.com or see King at WTVO.com. We'd love to see those pictures. It's been cooler today. Last week we were dry. We had sunshine, temperatures in the 70s. Much different story here, not only for today, but going in the week ahead. We started off with a cloud cover, had some breaks in those clouds, but that allowed some of that scattered shower activity to develop. And we've still got a few of those showers as they linger here for us this evening. We'll kind of see the tail end of this work through as we get closer to sunset tonight, leaving our skies mostly cloudy here through the evening. There's actually another area of low pressure kind of working in on the backside of this big dip we've got going on in the jet stream, and our water vapor imagery shows that very well. You have that overall dip. Here we are in the jet stream, but you've also got this mini low pressure system kind of working out of Minnesota and then down through Iowa. With that, there have been a couple of scattered showers, but this looks to pass just to our west and to our southwest. So I think with that coming through, it's going to prevent us from completely clearing out throughout tonight. We'll see some of that cloud cover break up, and we might even get a light shower once we get after about 8, 9, 10 o'clock here this evening to our west and then to our southwest. But each one of those lows that passes through pulls down an even cooler air mass. So we have one coming in tonight, another one coming in on Wednesday, and another one in on Thursday. And that one coming down on Thursday really going to bring those temperatures. In fact, all this week our numbers stay below average, some 10 to 15 degrees below average. And we've got frost potential not only for Friday morning, but also Saturday morning as overnight low temperatures fall back into the middle 30s, really depending on how much we clear out with that cloud cover. We are going to see some of those clouds kind of clear out a little bit as we go through the night tonight. A few breaks in some of that activity for tomorrow morning, so we'll see some sunshine, kind of similar to what we had for today. Kind of a few sunny breaks, but as that second system kind of works in, we'll bring back that cloud cover as we get through the noon hour, and then scattered shower activity develops once we get into the afternoon, so after about 1, 2 o'clock. Might not be quite as widespread as what we had today, but we'll see some of that move through. We'll clear out again after midnight Tuesday night. We'll see some sunshine on Wednesday, build up some of the cloud cover with that cold front coming in. We'll get a couple of scattered showers for Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, and kind of the same story as we head into Thursday. 57 our temperature right now in Rockford, 60 in Rochelle, 56 degrees in Freeport, and we're 61 right now down in Dixon. Our weather watcher Bob here in Rockford checking in with 59. Dew point temperature of 48. Had 7/10 of an inch of rain between what came down yesterday and what came down earlier today. A live look with our Mercy House SkyTrack camera out at the Park Hills Golf Course. You can see the cloud cover, but then also those breaks. Kind of neat to see the rain come down when you've got the sun coming down too. All the way down to 43 degrees for us tonight. Scattered evening showers. Could see a little bit of fog late, especially where we do clear out. Temperature tomorrow back up near 61. We'll see our warmer day on Wednesday, 64, and then numbers really fall back Thursday, Friday. Friday will be the coolest day we have. Low 50s for the afternoon, just a slight chance for a couple of showers there. Those overnight lows back into the 30s. We'll get a little more closer to seasonable as we welcome in early next week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
Nick Foles is the Bears starting quarterback going forward. Those were Matt Nagy's words this morning. There can be no other choice at this point. The Bears need more consistency at quarterback than they've gotten from Mitch Trubisky. They need a quarterback who's more accurate than Mitch Trubisky. They need a quarterback who can do a better job of reading defenses than Mitch Trubisky. Foles checks all those boxes. Plus, you could just see when folks got in there yesterday that he was far more confident in his ability as a player and a leader than Trubisky has. Foles looks like a guy who's been a starting quarterback. He isn't a miracle worker, but he can get hot and do an effective job, just like when he led the Eagles to a Super Bowl championship. The Bears will be a better team offensively from now on with Foles on the field, and Trubisky now gives the Bears one of the NFL's best backups. What a sports week this will be with both the White Sox and Cubs in playoff action. The Cubs will play the Marlins starting Wednesday afternoon. The Sox open tomorrow in Oakland. I like the Sox chances against the A's, even though the A's are a 2 seed and the Sox are a 7 seed. The A's talent-wise don't stack up with the Sox, but they're one of those teams that doesn't beat themselves. They do the little things right, so the Sox can't give them any openings. Eloy Jimenez sprained foot's a concern, and the Sox need Luis Robert to hit more like he did the first month of the season. The A's team batting average is only .225, and I'll take the Sox top 2 starters, Dallas Keuchel and Lucas Giolito, over the A's top pitchers. They're going with 22-year-old Jesus Luzardo tomorrow. Anything can happen in a best-of-3 series, but I'll take the Sox. I think the Cubs got a great first-round draw on the Marlins. The Marlins started off the season hot. They played way over their heads before coming back down to earth and hanging on to grab a 6 seed. Their lineup doesn't scare anyone, and their team ERA of 4.86 is almost a full point higher than the Cubs is. The Marlins have some solid pitchers like Pablo Lopez and Brandon Kinsler in the pen, but I'll take the Cubs' 1-2 punch of Kyle Hendricks and Yu Darvish in a short series. And the way Chris Bryant swung the bat over the weekend was encouraging. Again, the first game will be played Wednesday afternoon at Wrigley, and you can see that here on WTVO.
We'll continue to see a couple of those scattered showers kind of rotate around this area of low pressure. Our first warning interactive radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Those will last through about sunset, but we could see a few additional showers once we get to about 8, 9, 10 o'clock here this evening as another low pressure system works to our west and southwest. Temperature tonight down around 43 degrees, up to 61 for tomorrow. We'll see a few scattered showers pop up for the afternoon. Same thing on Wednesday and then again on Thursday.
It's weird to see those 30s up there.
Sure
Thanks,
is.
Candice.
And thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.